There's lots of different steps and methods and ways to protect yourself against a narcissistic person. And this is just a 4-step method to help save your sanity around a narcissistic person. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, this channel is all about narcissism. So when it comes to dealing with a narcissistic person, one of the first things you need to do is learn to recognize the game that they are playing and no longer play. So when they're guilt tripping you, recognize that they're guilt tripping you. When they're triangulating you, recognize that they're trying to triangulate you. When they're provoking you, recognize that they are trying to provoke that reaction from you. When they're shifting the blame onto you, recognize that they are trying to shift the blame over to you so that they don't have to take responsibility for the things that they are doing to you. When they are gaslighting you, recognize that they're trying to gaslight your reality so that they can get their needs met by you. Strange bit of head there. So when it comes to a narcissistic person, recognize the games that they are playing and no longer play. Do not attack back. Narcissistic people thrive on baiting you to attack them so that they can play the victim and act oh so offended and tell everyone just how horrible you are as a person so that they can gain the sympathetic attention from those around them. Narcissistic people are going to be excessively cruel and calculated and cold, having subtle little digs, covert digs at you, to shame you, to humiliate you, to wind you up, to get you going. And then it's human nature. They are going to be some of the most offensive people you could ever meet, so that when you jump on your defensive, you might then potentially attack them. And they're going to instantaneously morph into the victim of just what a terrible person you are and how poorly you're treating them. So when it comes to dealing with a narcissistic person, do not attack back. It doesn't work. They just use it to their advantage. Any sort of communication you give to a narcissistic person, they leverage this to their advantage to exploit you or to exploit those around you. Don't take responsibility for their behaviour. Narcissistic people are going to go all out to make you feel responsible for everything they do wrong. Avoid those who make you feel responsible for everything they do wrong. Do not take responsibility for their behaviour. Their behaviour is on them. You have to recognise that they've provoked me. That's their responsibility, because they lack the empathy to care. Because they don't want the best for me, they want to bring out the worst in me. So they've provoked me. That is their behaviour, that is on them. I reacted to them. That is my behaviour. That is on me. What do I need to do? I need to step away from those who bring out the worst in me. So yes, we have to take responsibility for our own behaviour. Yet not punish ourselves for behaviour that we didn't understand. When you've not lived something, when you've not experienced something, you don't always recognise it for what it is. So don't punish yourselves for things that you don't understand. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. And once we've got the hindsight, we can then learn from it and move forward. Don't punish yourselves for things in the past where you didn't know any different, where you didn't know any better. Now you know better, now you know different, you can change your approach. So yes, take responsibility for who you are as a person. Take responsibility for your behaviour so that you can learn from it and grow from it. But don't punish yourselves for things that you didn't understand in the past. And do not take responsibility for a narcissistic person's behaviour, because they need you to do this so that they don't have to face the consequences for their actions. Just like when they're provoking you to gain that reaction from you, and they use some of the most hurtful things that you will personalize And when it comes to dealing with a narcissistic person, don't personalize what they are doing to you. Is very, very challenging because they are going to make it incredibly personal so that you attack back, so that you take responsibility once you've attacked them, so that you go and try and make it up to them, so that they can get their own way with you, so they can exploit you. And another thing when it comes to dealing with a narcissistic person is do not excuse their behaviour. Narcissistic people come up with so many different excuses to justify themselves, rather than actually being remorseful and accepting responsibility and wanting to repair the damage they have caused. Instead, they just shift the blame or provoke that reaction out of you, or attack you so that you defend yourself by attacking them, so that they can blame you, so that you take responsibility and they get away with their behaviour. Do not excuse a narcissistic person's behaviour. That is on them, and don't listen to their excuses. A narcissistic person will step over your boundary and you can explain to them. So something like, you don't like people coming into your home with their shoes on. So you can explain this to them, and they then will step into your home with their shoes on. And you can say, would you mind taking your shoes off? And to begin with, they'll just be, oh, I'm ever so sorry, I forgot. I'm a very forgetful person. You just have to keep reminding me. And then they use that in other areas. You might have been supposed to, you might have arranged to meet up with them and they fail to show. And then you can't work out why they haven't shown. They're showing you who they are here. Yet when they do then come forth and communicate with you, they say, oh, I'm ever so sorry, I forgot. You know, just like with the shoes. I'm just a very forgetful person. You need to remind me. And in the beginning, they'll play on this. Yet as time passes and you remind them, they get offended that you've reminded them. I'm not a child. I don't need reminders. You said that you're a forgetful person. No, I didn't. I never said that. And then they start gaslighting your reality. So do not excuse their behaviour. Narcissistic people are going to come out with no end of excuses and justifications that can play into different areas of their life. And yes, we can all have other things going off. We can all become forgetful for various reasons. We can all misplace things. We can all mistake communication. This can happen with everyday people, and it can happen with people who have other conditions. However, those with other conditions, those who have made a genuine mistake, take responsibility. They own up to it. They don't keep changing the game on you and manipulating you to get their own way with you. So when it comes to a narcissistic person, recognize the game that they are playing. Don't take it personally. Do not attack back. Don't take responsibility for their behaviour, and do not excuse their behaviour. The only person's behaviour that you are responsible for is your own. Don't punish yourself for things that you didn't understand. Once you understand it, learn from it, grow from it, develop, move on. Yes, we are enough as such. However, we learn to be more enough with ourselves in that growth process. Rather than just settling, we learn and we feel better about ourselves by growing. We feel better by helping others. However, when you help the wrong people, such as narcissistic people, they're going to take you down with them. And these are the kinds of people that it's going to feel incredibly difficult walking away from. However, you've got to walk away from them because you're not going to grow with them. You're going to sink with them. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.